Welcome to another episode of Bet Regret Chronicles, the podcast that exposes the harsh realities of gambling and the regrets it leaves behind. First of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who have reached out to me to help them recover from this gambling addiction. I want to say thank you. I have received messages, I've received calls from people in different African countries: Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Senegal, you know, just a list. And I've also been able to talk to people to know the other side, how it's going on the other side of life. Um, I've been able to also talk to people who I am helping on the process. God is using me to help them to the process of recovering, which is a very vital thing to do. I've also received messages from those of you who have shared interest in coming to the studio to share your story. I want to say thank you. Thank you, because don't forget, your story is the most powerful tools we have for change. Our stories is the most powerful tools that we have to make the world a better place. So that is why I want to say thank you, for reaching out and for allowing me be a part of the process of your recovery from the gambling addiction. Before any other person can come to this studio to share their story with you, I thought it so hard that I should be the first person who will use this platform to share their story. So that before you hear from the next person, you should hear from me. You should be able to know why I'm so happy now that I'm gambling addict free, and why I'm so happy to help you get to where you want to be, which is gambling addict free. Gambling addiction is a huge, huge, huge problem. Very huge, very big, very big. I understand it because I was addicted for 3 years of my life. For me, let me get to it. It all begins in the year 2021, late 2021, early 2022. I've been a Manchester United fans for a very long time while I was in Nigeria. But and I've never been interested in the betting. I've never known what's called betting. I don't know how it operates. I don't know how you operate it. I was just ignorant of everything that has to do with that world. But I was a supporter of Man United. I normally watch their matches, go to anywhere. I remember in Nigeria, I used to go to what's it called view centers to watch soccer, even at night. Champions League at night. We'll go there to watch and come back home tired and go to bed because I love the club United. So, until late 2021, early 2022, when I came to I was already in South Africa for about some few years then. A friend of mine, his name is Ibrahim, is in Canada now. I think on that fateful day we were talking, and he told me that he tossed bet on gambling, how sport betting. I was like, what is sport betting? How does it work? He said, no, this is how I want you to. This is how you do it. You go about it. You download the app on your phone. You put money in the app. You choose the team you want to win. You do this. You do that. I was like, okay. I went home because I was so curious to know what was going on in that world. I went home. I decided to download the game, the app on my phone. So when I downloaded the app on my phone, I think that was late 2021, around 2000, around November, October, November, December. That was when it all happened. So I started betting. I started betting with 20 rand, 10 rand, 5 rand, 15 rand, all those small, small amount of money. But sometimes you have to take many games. You have to take 30 games, and be rest assured, out of 30 games, they are all not going to come. Maybe 15 is going to spoil it. So I developed this idea to say, no, I believe the fewer games you take on your ticket, with more hold, you put more amount of money, you win more money from this thing. So that came into my head. And as at that point in time, I was into car business. I buy and sell car from Option Nation, fix them, accident car, fix them and resell them. So I was literally making a whole good living out of it. Because the business was at its peak as at that time. So I had so many cars. People want to sell their cars, will come to me. I want to sell my car, help me to sell it. I will sell the car, take my percentage. I was having money to play with as at that time. So, and I also had a car that I recently bought from Option Nation. I think I spent about 580,000 rounds on that car. I bought it and fixed it. Everything was somewhere around that amount. So I don't something led to something else. I moved from Pretoria. I went to Polokwane. So when I was in Polokwane, I was not really busy doing anything. I was just at home. I had cars by the garage. I had some few small cars that was working for me on boat, So I was just driving that car around and living the life until I was already exposed. I was already introduced into gambling. I was still gambling at the minimum of 15 rand, 20 rand, 30 rand then. So I thought of it. I said, okay, no, let me stake high so that I can win more. I still remember very well before I dived deep into gambling. I told my wife, I said, one day, don't worry, I'm going to win this gambling. I used to pay your lobola. I still remember telling her, I'm going to give you a very nice marriage. Don't worry, this betting, they will know somebody has arrived. I didn't know it is me that will know that betting has arrived in my life. So to go further on, I sold my car that I was having at my hand at that time. I sold it at the January 2022. I sold it for around about 380,000 rounds to a garage because I couldn't sell it to an individual. I couldn't afford it. I was needing some. I was in need of some money to do some other businesses. So I needed to sell it off and buy other cars to put on boat. So when I sold that car, I took the money to Auction Nation. I bought 5 cars. I bought 5 cars and I put them on boats. They were accidented. I fixed them and I put them on boat. And each of those cars at that time were giving me 1,800 rand per week. So which means I was making 8,000 rounds per week. Like as I said, by now in Polokwane, I was sitting at home. The only thing that I was focused on doing was gambling because that was, like I said, I was just somebody who buy cars and sell, buy cars and sell, buy cars and sell. So I was sitting at home. So I was always, always, always gambling in that time. So this is where everything took a turnaround for me. It was in January, if not February 2022. There was a time when Nigeria and Tunisia played Nations Cup. On that very fateful day, I just sold my car a few days before that Nations Cup. I sold that car for around 380 rand, 80,000 rounds. My money was in the account. So I was greedy. Then I was greedy. Then this greed came upon me. I trust Nigeria, my country. They can deliver. They can beat Tunisia 4-0 because they've won so many teams. I think they were in the knockout stage or quarterfinal, somewhere around there. So I said, okay, I can win this thing. I took 15,000 out of that money that I sold my car with. I invested, I placed a bet on it. I placed a bet on that very fateful day on Nigeria to win Tunisia. First half, there was no goal. Second half, on the wrong run of it, around 56, 67 minutes, 56, 60 something minutes, they scored Nigeria one goal. That was when my dream started crumbling down. I started realizing, I'm losing my 15,000 rounds. My wife called me and asked me, what did you do with the money? Because she was not around. She was with her parents as at that day, very particular day. She called me and asked me, what did you do with the money? I said, no, I placed it on bet. She said, why would you place such amount of money on betting? Who told you? I said, don't worry, I got this under control. I'm going to get my money back. So the match ended 1-0, then won Nigeria. I was so broken. So I had to take another 4,000 and that same night place another bet again. I was able to rescue 12. I won 12,000 rounds. I was able to rescue 8,000 rounds from the money that I placed on the bet. That was what gave me the glimpse to say, maybe I can win this thing more. That was the beginning of my gambling journey or gambling addiction journey. So I started betting from then on every day, every day. I will bet from Monday till Friday, Monday till Tuesday. I will bet week in, week and Monday till Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, any day you can ever think of. I will bet because the money that I sold my car from, the proceeds that I sold my car from was what I used to buy 5 cars that I put on board. So they were paying me 8,000 rounds a week. I could only pay my rent and feed my wife and my son. I was just gambling all this money away. I will gamble today, I will lose. I will gamble tomorrow, I will lose. I will gamble the next day, I will lose, lose, lose. So I was looking for a way to recover my money that which I've lost. Just the one I lost yesterday, so I'm trying to recover today. I will lose more. The one I'm lose today, I'm trying to recover it tomorrow. I will still lose more tomorrow. It get to an extent where it was not out of my control. I couldn't even control how I gamble anymore. I couldn't even control how much I spent on gambling anymore. When I started the boat business, I had a book and a plan to say this is the money that comes in. This is what we are going to be doing with the money, my wife and I, and this is what we are going to go to service. But I couldn't even save anything. I couldn't even save anything at all in the for 3 years in that business. I couldn't save not even 50,000 rounds because every money that comes into me week in, week out, I use them to gamble. It gets worse to a level where I have to borrow money from my friends just to play gamble. I call them, please borrow me money to play gamble. Because they are my friends, they know I have the means to give them their money back. They will borrow me the money. They will say, hey, okay, we are lending you so and so amount of money. And by the time I get the money from them, I use it on gamble. I gambled it away. I have to pay back on Tuesday. I will pay because that's when my cars are paying me. So there was some time, as a time in my life, I was unable to take care of these cars because I was not saving for to take care of them. I was using them just to play gamble. All the money I get, I have to sometimes rescue my rent out of it, my feeding money for my wife and my son out of it. I have to rescue it out at the end of the month. To tell you the truth, in a rough estimate of 3 years, I lost over 500,000 rounds to gambling. I still remember very well. There was a time when my wife traveled home to see her parents. I was all alone that day at home. I was looking for money to gamble. I couldn't find anything. I've called all my friends. Nobody was willing to give me money. Everybody does not have money. Not that they were not willing to give me. Everybody does not have money to give me. I took my home theater that I bought for 2,800. I took it to what's it called? Cash Crusader. I asked them to give me a loan. They checked it and said they can only give me 500 rand loan, then to pay, I think around 700 or 800 after 1 month. Then I come and take my home theater. You know what Gamble will always tell you. By the time they give me this money, I play the next game now. I win 12,000 rounds now. I will come back and take my own theater. I took that 500 rand, I went home, placed a bet on it. Then I lost that very particular day. Everything, the 500 rand was gone. When my wife came back from journey to ask me, what happened to the home theater we had at home? I said, Ish, sorry, it got burned. Electronics. I don't know what happened. It started making this and it just got burned. I had to lie to her just to cover up my shame, just to cover up my mess that I've created. There was a time in my life I was looking for money to play bets. I went to same cash crusader again to say I need money to borrow. They say we don't have. Do you have anything we can borrow you money with? I say yes. I have a 65 inches TV in my room that is lying there, very big, and that is the only thing that gives my son joy when he's watching those cocoa melon. But I said that is the only thing I have to give you. They said, but it's too big. We don't have something to go pick it up. Can you bring it? I don't have anything to bring it for them because I'm literally broke. I don't ever have money. So they said, okay, but you have a phone in your hand. Yeah, iPhone 11. That it was 2022. iPhone 11 was just recently released as at that time. iPhone 11 is on your hand. For instead of you giving us your TV, we'll give you 4,500 rand for it. As I heard it, my mind was jumping. I was so excited. I wanted to take it so that I can go play the next game and win 20,000 and come and take my phone. I gave them my phone. I took the 4.5. I went home. I gambled it, I think, for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. I gambled that morning. I was no longer having phone. I had to download WhatsApp on my wife phone. On my wife phone, I downloaded WhatsApp on my wife phone. Ask my anybody so that we cannot be using the same phone. We were using the same phone literally for almost some few months because when I downloaded it on her phone, she was using the same phone. I was using the same phone. Just two different WhatsApp. Samsung, Samsung can take two WhatsApp. So that is how I was living. I was literally down to nothing. So there was even a time when I was looking for money to play gamble. I know my friend will hear this now and he will be very surprised. He will be very disappointed in me. I have my very good friend. His name is Lloyd. He's my best friend. There was a time when I was looking for money to play gamble. I sold two of my shoes to him. I sold a Timberland. I bought the Timberland 3,000 rands at Timberland by Merlin. I also sold a what's it called, a red Zara sneakers. I think I bought that sneakers around 1.7. I sold the two of them for him for just 1.5 just to play gamble. I remember calling him several times on that very day, begging him. He didn't even want the shoe. I have to lie to him of what I want to use the money for just so I can get that money to play gamble. I've been there. I've been there. I've lost so much to gambling. I've lost my mental health. As at that time, my mental health was in disarray. I was always thinking. There was a time in my life I thought of committing suicide. I thought I've lost everything. This gambling addiction has held me bound. There is no way out for me. I thought there was never going to be anything good out of my life. I thought that I was going to end it all with this gambling. There are nights when I wake up at night, I start crying. My wife and my son are sleeping in the bed. I come to the sitting room and just start crying all by myself. I be asking myself, God, why? How do I get out of this mess? How do I get out of this thing that is eating me and killing me? How do I get out of this place? Because as at that time, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to get out. I feel like I've been trapped and I've been trapped for life. So it was a mess. Like I'm telling you, it was a very huge mess that I was in. I lost everything. Financially, I was down. And I don't have any other, I don't have people to call. I'm not that kind of person who has a very big family who will always help me when I need help. No, it was me and God alone. So when I started gambling, my prayer life went down. I could not study the word of God. I could not pray anymore. There was sometimes I even thought God hates me. I thought God ate me because I cannot just lose a ticket with one match. How can I just lose a ticket with one corner? How can I lose a ticket with one goal? I was thinking God ate me. I couldn't even pray. I couldn't even study my Bible because I was depressed. I was devastated. There's nothing that is as much as heartbroken to a man than when he lost gamble. It's more painful than when a woman breaks your heart. You understand what I'm saying when you are a gambler? Even when a woman breaks your heart, you can take it and say, let her go. But when gambling break your heart, you feel it. You feel it in your heart, in your soul, that something has happened because your expectation for that game was more higher than what you got. You understand what I'm saying? So I lost so much to gambling. I lost so much to gambling. That is why when I recovered from it, when I decided to stop it, I did not recover any money that I lost. No, but I came to a conclusion that I was never going to recover my money. It was a battle. It was a fight that I have to fight and push and push and push until I stopped it. Finally, I stopped. So because I have stopped it and I know that now that I'm free, I can use my story to tell you so that you wouldn't make the mistake that I make. It was greed because, like as I said, I was okay. Financially, I was okay. I was not a billionaire, but I was not a millionaire, but I was okay with my state. I was not lacking anything until gambling came in. So are so many of you today. You were not lacking anything until gambling came in. But ever since it came in, it has taken everything from you. Everything, even the ones that you used to have, you used to manage, is no longer there. You are now begging. I used to beg my friends, even for 200 rand. Me, that doesn't even take 200 rand serious. I just keep it where I don't even want it. But as at the time when I was gambling, every money count. Every money count because I want to buy voucher. I remember very well, there are times when I will go to garages to go buy voucher. I will be ashamed to even stand on the queue to buy voucher. I will be ashamed. There was a time when the bank even has to limit my daily expense just so that they can save me. But I was very angry. I was shouting at the bank directors and the bank people, why will you restrict me? Is it not my money? I was wasting my money, killing myself. But because it was my money, nobody has right over my money or what to do with my money. So I had to let it all go. So my story, like as I'm sharing with you today, is so that you can know that you have the power to make a change. You have the power to stop the demon. You have the power to say no. You have the power to regain back that wish you have lost. But only on one condition, that you stop participating in gambling activities and focus on something else. Today, I'm gambling free. Today, it doesn't longer moves me anymore. It doesn't longer take me. It has not taken anything from me, I will say, because as long as there is life, there is hope. So that is why I've come to share my story with you today, so that you can be encouraged, so that you can be empowered. If you have a story that is more similar to mine, or even more than mine, you've lost more than mine, it's okay. We can all come together to share our story so that others can hear and learn from us and not make the mistake we make. That is why I've created this podcast, so that you and I can come together to share our stories, so that with our stories we can make a difference. With our stories we can teach and educate our generation on the negative impact of gambling. This is Bet Regret Chronicles. I am Samat Nelson, your host, and I will see you on my next episode. God bless you. Thank you.